All right, thank you so much for coming, everybody. My name is Chris J. Evans. For the last 14 years, I have been an international destination wedding photographer. I've worked from Lake Como to Santa Barbara, from Los Angeles to New York, Spain, Romania, so many incredible places. It's been an honor and a privilege to tell all these love stories. And it wasn't an easy journey, as we all know. We all work so incredibly hard. 14 years ago, I was working double shifts at the restaurant during the week. Then I'd be working weddings on the weekends. And in such a short amount of time, using my background in fashion and editorial and style, I was able to build a brand on the island of Maui where I was living. Within 3 years, I was one of the top wedding photographers in the whole state. And within 5 years, I had sold over $2.5 million of wedding photography. And that was really, really incredible feat. And I want to kind of take you guys through a case study of my business and my brand and how I kind of arrived at this point. And hopefully I've got a lot of good nuggets for everybody to take away. So we're talking about elevating our brands from mainstream to luxury. What does that mean? I've broken it down into our 5 pillars, and that's going to be our foundation, which is going to be the bones of which our business and our brands are going to be based of. Now, I'm a wedding photographer, but I know we all do so many other disciplines, but this is going to apply to everybody. I'm sure of it. We're going to talk about our clients. Who is our brand for? Who is our ideal client? Who do we want? Who have we already worked with in our life that we just love? Which wedding, which event, which photo shoot, which product, which brand? Who really inspired us to do our best work? And how can we create strategies that will attract those people to us each and every time? I'm not all about casting wide nets. I'm casting very specific nets because I only want to do my work for the people who are going to value me and value what I do and how I do it. We're going to talk about branding. It's a crucial element of what we do. We're going to talk about logo design. We're going to talk about the evolution of logos. We're going to be talking about relating your brand to luxury brands so our luxury clients can more seamlessly see our work and say, that aligns with our values. That looks similar to the brands we already purchase. This is a crucial element in attracting luxury clients. We're going to touch on little social media strategies, nothing too deep. I'm not very big into SEO. I know I should be, and a lot of people are really good at it. But again, I'm already so targeted by who I work with and what I show that those people naturally are now coming to me. And then finally, we're going to talk about the bedrock of all good business, and that's relationships. This entire world of luxury, we could not do a single bit of it. We could not connect with a single luxury client if it weren't for relationships. Relationships with planners we're working with, incredible relationships with past clients. We need to build an incredible table that we're always welcomed at, and a table in which we can shine and everyone there can be part of this big community together. That's one of my most important things that I'm going to talk about. All right, what is luxury? Oxford Dictionary describes luxury as a material object, service, or experience conducive to sumptuous living, usually delicacy, elegance, or refinement of living, rather than a necessity. Nobody needs a photographer on their wedding. They don't need it. They want it. They want to capture the day. Luxury is all about things that nobody needs. It's about things that they want. And the more we can create a drive for them to want what we offer, the more likely they're going to be attracted to our brand. For some, luxury might encompass material possessions, like designer goods, lavish vacations. For others, it can just be a moment alone without the kids. For others, it can be an experience. It can be a massage. It doesn't have to be a high-ticket item. Sometimes luxury is just a walk on the beach. So what I'm saying here is we have to first define what our version of luxury is and what our personal definition of luxury is before we can possibly ever try to attract that client back to us. I only want to do my best work with people that share my values and my experiences with. When I'm going on destination weddings to Europe, I'll be with families sometimes for a week. They need to know that, oh, Chris is going to be really fun to be with this week. They need to know that you're going to be really fun to spend this time with them. So by building a brand based around your version of luxury, based around your ideals and your brand values, you're going to better collect the most incredible people to A, spend your time with, and B, write you fat checks. Who likes those? For me, when I was defining what luxury is, I broke it down to these 4 things, and this has nothing to do with price. For me is when an experience leaves me feeling utterly seen, celebrated, pampered, and loved. I go to the most luxurious hotels around the world. I walk in, oh, they know who I am before I even get there. Mr. Evans, so nice to see you. How do they do that, right? What can I do for you today? You're greeted with like a little lilikoi passion fruit water and a little kukui nut necklace in Hawaii. Like, you're utterly pampered. You are seen. What can I do for you right now? To me, that is luxury. And when you have that ability to make someone feel, for me, these 4 things, it's worth it. Whether I spent $100, $10, $10,000, if I feel those things, sometimes it costs nothing. That is luxury for me. So these are some of the grounding principles that I have created my brand around and how I make other people feel. All right, brief history. Like I said, 14 years ago, I packed up my whole house. We sold everything. My wife and my oldest daughter at the time was 2 years old. We moved to the island of Maui. I was a fashion photographer before. Thought I was going to keep doing that there, but in Maui, I called the amount of photographers there, photographers were to Maui as realtors were to Southern California. So there was an incredible amount of competition. Like, everyone I met identified as a wedding photographer. And in Maui at the time, pre-pandemic, this was one of the most thriving wedding markets in the world. 7 days a week, 365 days a year, 10, 15, 20, 30 weddings a day, every day. So the wedding, and these are like beach weddings. It could be like, take a number, little, your turn, your turn, your turn. And then there's all the hotel weddings. So there was a huge variety and a gigantic amount of work to be had. And with that, we had so much competition. So I had to figure out a strategy and a way to cut through the noise and be something different, and how I could align what I wanted to do and who I wanted to do it for with this incredible opportunity for all these clients. We're going to go a little bit deeper later, but like I said, within 3 years, I built one of the top wedding photography businesses in Hawaii by going through these motions we're going to talk about. What I learned most at the restaurant, and I always got to give it props, it's Mama's Fish House on Maui. If you've never been, you got to check it out. You pull up at this private beach, you walk down this pathway, it's bright blue ocean, palm trees swaying in the wind. You haven't even sat down, and this is the most luxurious experience you've ever experienced in your life. Then you get to your table, you have this incredibly friendly waiter filled with aloha, just look you in the eye and welcome you. And they're priming the stage for you to have an incredible experience, because that food's gonna taste better when you're feeling seen, when you're feeling pampered, when you're feeling loved, all my core values. What I learned there too was solving problems. Who in this room, it's a safe space, guys, have had a problem with a client? Come on, honesty back there. It's just about everybody. Those who haven't, I'm sorry, but they're coming. What I learned about at the restaurant too was, how can we solve these problems? No matter what it would take, we'd comp your dinner, we'd give them a gift card to come back, bring your family back anytime in the next, whatever, unlimited. You do not let customers leave unhappy, because an unhappy customer will be 10 times louder than any happy one, 7 days a week. It's terrible, but that's the way it goes. So we must keep them happy no matter what. And of all the things I learned there, that was one of the best lessons. Getting into our foundation. We're gonna build a house with our brands. Again, like I've talked about identifying your version of luxury, we now need to identify our brand values. And these are gonna be different for everyone, and that's okay. They should be, they have to be, they need to be. But brand values are the fundamental beliefs and principles that are gonna guide your company's actions. I want people to feel pampered. I want people to feel seen. All the things that make me feel good, those are the tenets of my brand, and that's how I'm gonna make other people feel. I do not sell photography. I deliver photography. I sell an experience. I sell what I feel is the highest version of luxury, is a feeling, and I sell that to my clients, and I deliver images. And if you think of your business as like that, it can fundamentally change your mindset, will start to attract your ideal client. Your brand values will also shape your identity as your business, and they'll foster those meaningful connections with your clients. Again, I call them clients, never customers. Every bit of my vocabulary is also tailored to attracting clients that are used to this sort of interaction with people. You walk into a Tom Ford store, Gucci store, luxury brands, you're greeted in an elevated experience. And when you can offer that to your clients at every step of the process, those are your brand values. And then when your brand values intersect with your clients' values, then you're going to create trust. Trust in our business is the foundation, the single most important element. Trust is what gives you the ability to tell your couple to, oh yeah, let's go down by the water line. Trust me, you're going to be okay. We've seen the video of the couple get smashed on the wave. Not a lot of trust on that photographer. So it's trust that you have your client's best interest at heart because you share their style, you share their taste, and you do this because you've already built a brand sharing your style and your taste. They're going to come back to you. I'm going to repeat that a lot throughout this today. For me, my brand values, and we're going to go into each one of these, driven by style, inspired by beauty, committed to craft, and unforgettable service. I service my clients to the highest order. I take care of them. Jeff knows. Jeff's worked with me a few times. There's nothing I will not do for my clients on their wedding day. You need a glass of water? Sure. You need a minute? Sure. Let me step outside while you just breathe a little while. Let me go get you a cocktail. It's 8 a.m. Here you go. Have a tequila. There's nothing I will not do to ensure that my clients have the most luxurious day of their life where they feel pampered, seen, and cared for, because this is how I would want to be made to feel. And when I can share that experience with my couples, I build trust, and I build the ability to create the work I want to create, because I cannot create a photo like this if my couple doesn't utterly trust me and feel so incredibly embraced by what I'm offering to them. So your brand values are critical in attracting your ideal client, not only in the luxury market, but especially in the luxury market, but across the board. First tenet of my business, driven by style. In my world, style is king. Style to me is everything. I want to attract clients that feel the same way. Clients that when they go out with their boys on a night in Vegas, like we did, Jeff, right? This is going to be how we turn up. I want to provide an experience for my clients, their family, and their guests. We're like, whoa, look at those guys. Like, that's what I'm talking about. We're not only there to work, but we're there to elevate the experience of the entire party. For me, again, these are my brand values. I'm not a fly on the wall. I am an integral part of your celebration, and I'm going to ensure that your party is better because me and my team are there producing the work that you want in the style and grace that we like to deliver it. Style is ultimately a reflection of each of our unique tastes, preferences, and individuality. Once you can begin to show your style to the world through your social medias and through all your feeds, we're such easy creatures, right? We're attracted to things that look similar to us. So once you understand who you are and you can promote yourself and you can share all that about yourself, you're going to start getting those people that are a closer reflection to who you are and who you want to spend time with. I meditate every day. I'm a big fan of vibration. We're going to get a little woo here. But I know that if I can, with every fiber of my body, manifest exactly who I want to work with by showing as much of myself and my life out there, that's exactly who's going to come in. It's very, very rare, nearly zero, that I work with a client that I'm not feeling totally inspired by. And style is going to be the final piece of distinguishing yourself from your others. We live in such a crowded space. In Maui at the time, everyone in 2010, their logos, I'm just telling everybody, it's not a knock, but everyone had a watercolor splash and a cursive font, their logos, 2010. I was like, if everyone's doing the same thing, how can I possibly be different? So my first logo accompanied, and we're going to talk about that later, my brand values. It was fashion forward, it was bold, it was bigger, and it was different, and it gave clients a clear difference between me and everybody else. All right, inspired by beauty. From venues to love stories, beauty is what truly drives me. Beauty ignites a profound appreciation for the elegance and harmony in the world, inspiring creativity and enriching my perspective on life. I love pretty things. I'm a little bougie. My wife loves that and hates that about me. But I am inspired by places. I'm inspired by people. I'm inspired by art. I'm inspired by just experiences. And I do everything I can to share this inspiration with my couples and with the world. I do it through my social media. I do it through my relationships. I'm always talking about it. I'm always living it. I grew up, my mom was a world-famous couture wedding dress designer in the 80s. My youngest memories, this big, is she's wrapping celebrities in incredible wedding gowns, from Patty Springsteen, where she sewed her into the dress. It's in Bruce Springsteen's book. It's pretty amazing. To Kris Kardashian when she married Bruce Jenner. I've been around this world my entire life. So for me, it's not like an act and it's not forced. It is truly how I was raised and a true reflection of just what I've seen in the world my whole life. To me, beauty is love, sunsets, nature, family, art, kindness. I share this with my followers. I share this with the world because I want to attract people that are inspired by the similar things. Have you ever spent a couple days with someone where you don't like the same things? It's miserable. So I only want to work with clients that are vibrating and are attracted to the same things that I'm into. And again, it's different for everyone. No matter what you're into and what you like, there is a client who's similar to you that wants exactly what you have to offer to them. For me, admiring beauty is an enchanting journey where the soul finds solace and the senses are captivated by the exquisite nuances of the world. Thank you, ChatGPT. You cleaned that one up a little bit. I was close. I had a few in there. I had a little bit, I still prompted it, all right? There's some art in there. I tried. But again, this is the language I use on my website. This is the language I use on my social media. This is the way I communicate to the world in order to only bring in that ideal client. I don't ever, ever, ever for the rest of my life want to do what I do and create that art and participate in that exchange of energy with a client who does not share my values. I do not want to do it because I cannot do my best work. Committed to craft. Oh, this is my favorite. This is for all of us. Luxury clients are seeking the highest quality goods and services. They'll spend $50,000 on an Hermes Birkin bag. They'll spend $25,000 on a couple Chanel purses, no problem, because that item, that good, was prepared and made by a master craftsman who spent their life, each one sewn by hand. You can look up these videos of how these goods are produced. These are exquisite items that have been created with an absolute dedication to craft. So for me, as one of my brand values being committed to craft, this is my relentless pursuit of mastery, fueled by my dedication and passion and my unwavering determination to refine my skills and to create meaningful and valuable work. I am obsessed with what I do. I love it. I love it. I love it. I've met so many amazing photographers on this week, and photographers who can produce images I could only ever dream of. And it's been so inspiring. But each and every one of us, every day, we're learning. We're trying harder. We want to make a better image. I still have not made my image yet. I've made hundreds of thousands of images, but I've not made that one yet. And that's what continues to drive me. That one that's like been close. Been close a few times, but again, it's that relentless just devotion to the pursuit of creative excellence. And at the heart of it is my profound respect for photography. The power that we have as photographers. When we're holding a camera and we're pointing it at someone, the power that we have to utterly transform them. How many of us have been working with couples that are like, before the session, I'm a little awkward, I feel a little nervous, every time, right? And then what happens when you show them that first hero shot? You get it, and you're like, oh, guys, well, sorry, film guys, you can't do this. you turn it around, and you show them that picture, and all of a sudden, Billy is like, oh, all right, I like that. And Susie's like, whoa. I'm like, yeah, the grandkids are gonna be like, whoa, you guys look hot back then. That's the transformative power that we have as photographers. So with that power, I just want to make people feel incredible. And we can do that. You can all do that. And when you do that with someone, oh man, these clients, they love you forever. They value you. You're instantly elevated in their eyes to someone who has just made them feel seen, and loved, and appreciated. Again, all the reflections of my core values. This is what I do, and this is how I have to make people feel. And if we can all do that, then your experiences with your clients are going to become tenfold elevated. They'll tell their friends, they'll tell your friends, and this builds value. And this is how we can really understand what we're bringing to the table. Far more than just photographs. All right. Seek the truth, reveal the beauty. I'm done with posing in my life. I don't want to tell people how to stand. I don't want to tell people how to look at their partner. Everybody is different. We are all incredibly unique, incredible creatures. And I don't want to impose what I think someone is going to look or feel like if I can let them reveal it for me. And I learned this from a mentor of mine, John Dolan. And as I don't pose, I direct. I can understand at this point how they move, how they stand, how they talk to each other. So I'm going to give them a scene. I'm going to let them walk, let them be utterly natural and beautiful. And then that moment when they lock eyes on their own, and I don't tell them to look at each other, that's the shot. That's the moment. That creates this body of work for them in these images that are just utterly fleeting. And I don't want to make the same image for you as I'm going to make for you, because you are two totally different people. And this is a hard practice. It takes a long time to really, dial that mantra in. But on your next shoot, challenge yourself. No posing. Direct. And I think you're going to create some work that feels much more elevated because of the authenticity and the realism to who they are is going to shine through. So seek the truth and reveal the beauty. Style, grace, and gratitude. These are my tenets for service. Service, from your wardrobe to your vocabulary, luxury clients expect a luxurious experience. Like I said, you walk into any luxury designer store, you're greeted with a glass of champagne, you're welcomed in by a person in a suit. There's a waft of utter professionalism. I do jobs all the time where maybe the video crew shows up who's not part of my team. It's a black tie event. I'll be in a full tuxedo, cufflinks, pocket square, hand-tied bow tie, all the things. And this person shows up in khakis and a checkered shirt. Sorry for that outfit if anyone's wearing one today. This is utterly inappropriate in my world. This is such a sign of disrespect, not only to the couple. This is the biggest disrespect to yourself and your brand. This is an opportunity for you to impress the living daylights. And the moment you walk in, before you've even created a single image, your camera hasn't even come out of the bag yet. It's this ability to create something larger than yourself. Larger than yourself. And when you're attracting a luxury brand, if you aren't this shiny object for them in some way, shape, or form, or at least the highest version of yourself, they're not going to feel inspired by you. You're not going to set the stage for this beautiful bride to just utterly lose herself and just, if you don't make this person feel utterly safe, seen, comfortable, and loved the moment you walk in, I don't think it's possible to create an intimate set of images like this. And that's the beginning kickoff of service. It starts the moment you walk in that door. And if you're not coming in as a pure reflection of the other beautiful, shiny objects in their life, you're setting yourself up for not the best experience. Incredible service establishes incredible trust. I would say this enough. You have to be willing to go to the ends of the earth for your couples. Now, I've had some jobs lately where there was already other photographers hired. Planners call me last minute, Chris, we need you here on Friday. Okay, sure, I don't ask any questions, I show up. Why? Because a photographer who had an opportunity the planner called them, like, hey, can you just come an hour early and shoot just some BTS for me? And this photographer was like, that's gonna cost you extra. And she's like, oh, really? Okay. I'll be right back. Hey, Chris, can you be here on Friday? I did not need to be there. This person was not offering incredible service to this planner. And I mean, it was wild, because I'm the one who got all the publishing on that one. Sorry, buddy, but you have to service your clients and your planners to the ends of the earth. It's just, the more you can make people feel all those things I said, seen, trusted, cared for, loved, pampered, they're going to love you and want to work with you and to support you throughout your entire career. And this is how I take this from my dressing to how I communicate with clients and every interaction with my clients and their guests and their families from start to finish. You have to go above and beyond and then above that. If you aren't doing this, you will never excel and soar in the world of luxury, because this is what these brands do for them. They make them feel like they're part of a bigger club. They make them feel like they've invested in this tangible item that just, it's special, it's unique. And it makes them feel good, and it lets them go above and beyond that. Defining your brand. What makes your brand unique? This is where we're really going to start getting into it, guys. So yeah, please take pictures of all of these slides here. From your brand voice, your color palette, your visuals. As your brand continues to grow, we have to be constantly redefining our brand for the people in our relationship sphere. Some of us have had relationships with planners, 5, 6, 7 years, 10 years. I know we got some vets here, 20 years. Some people, by nature, they're still going to see us from when we started. And some people will continue to see us as we arrive on our journey, right? So earlier in my career, I still love backlight special. I'll put a light behind someone in the rain, put a light behind someone in a cool space. I love the backlight special. I showed a lot of that early in my career. I booked a lot of work and built the first couple years of my brand, because I was one of the only people in my market who was lighting like that. And then I was losing jobs. It's like, oh, they don't think you can shoot natural light or daylight. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I can't really do that so well. So I needed to be defining my brand. So at this little juncture, I was okay, I need to do a campaign that's going to redefine my brand, because others are defining my brand at the moment that wasn't true. So what I did was I did a little campaign. It was just through social media and emails, maybe a newsletter sent out. I called this my day and night campaigns, where I would show, here's what we did in the day, here's what we did in the night. By the way, backlight special in an Aspen snowstorm, highly recommend it. And then another one from Maui, daylight, sunset, backlight. I was educating my planners, I was educating my following, I was educating my future clients that from the day to the night, I'm going to be able to capture your day embodying all my core brand values. Driven by style, committed to craft, love of beauty, and unforgettable service. These are always at the core of what we do and how we talk and how we promote and what we show at all times. Your brand values are the most important thing to elevate into the luxury clientele. Brand voice. With my fashion and editorial background, you'll be the heroes of your epic love story, told through style, grace, and gratitude. I've worked as a waiter. I've been a guitar teacher. I've had a lot of jobs in my life that I loved, but I would not want to be doing them at this stage of my life. So every time I get invited to go to one of these celebrations, my first emotion is gratitude, unlimited gratitude, gratitude towards my clients, gratitude to all the other artists I'm going to get to work with, my whole team, gratitude to the other vendors. Gratitude is the most powerful tool that we have in our entire toolkit. When you can express gratitude to each and every person, just even besides work. I wake up every morning, we're getting a little woo here. Thank you for another day of fresh air and health. And just setting that up gives you this ability to start to attract that energy in those people. Again, it's all about attraction, the law of attraction. Your brand must establish you not only as an expert in your field, but also an established, trustworthy business and taste maker. Create your personal brand voice, and visitors will connect with your values. Tastemaker. This is very important to me. Our clients, they subscribe to blogs, they read magazines. Well, magazines are almost gone, but there's an entire industry around taste making. Our clients are hiring us because we are going to be their tastemaker. We're going to capture the most special day of their entire life, and they want us to be their leader, to guide them on making sure that dress is perfect, making sure the boutonniere is right, making sure his pocket square is in the right place. I fix that all the time. Making sure every element of their day is flawless and perfect, and that they trust us to be that tastemaker for them. We have to share taste with our clients. Every problem I've ever had was when there was a mismatch of taste with my clients. I think this is the best photo I've ever seen of you ever. I hate this photo of myself. We're not matching in taste, right? And that's one of the crucial elements in creating your branding strategy, is finding what you like and then putting that out there to attract people with like-minded interests. Your color palette. In the luxury space, your color palettes must be complement and not compete with your content. These are my personal colors from my rebrand. I wanted a brand that was masculine, yet approachable and soft. I wanted a brand that was rich and regal, connected to earth tones, and connecting to my values. When I walk into a luxury hotel and I see these colors, it just vibrates with me and puts me in a calm space. So create your color palette based on the things that make you feel good and make you happy. And this is going to attract, again, like-minded professionals. Go to any luxury website, Dior, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and you're going to find a very simple color scheme. Their websites are not going to be splashed with color. It's going to be simple, and let the products pop off the page. Visuals. Consistency equals trust. Only show the absolute best of what you offer. What you show is who you'll book. And for you, young lady that asked the question earlier, if you don't have the content you're ready to share yet, you have to create it. You have to create it. And a little note, if you stop referring everyone in this room to when you do editorials as styled shoots. Styled shoot, to me, very mainstream term. You're shooting an editorial. You're producing an editorial. Just this simple language shift when you reach out to creative partners. Hey, I'm working on an editorial. Would you like to be a creative partner? That's going to sound so much more elevated and set the stage for an experience that's going to be much more. When I shoot editorials, I want to shoot it fashion-driven. I seldomly will even use a groom when I do editorials. I'll have maybe 2 or 3 brides, mostly a bridal editorial, because that was my former passion before weddings. So when I produce this work, that's what I want to do. And I only am going to show exactly who I want to shoot. I want to shoot this incredibly gorgeous bride and dapper groom in Haiku, Maui, at the Haiku Mill, world-famous venue. I want to shoot that again and again and again. I don't want to spend a moment of my time working with or where or with who that does not inspire me and make me feel my best. Our dream clients. Who is your brand for? This is so critical. Like I said, we all vibrate different frequencies. I like different things. You like different things. Once you can, for yourself, establish exactly who you do your best work with, then you can create your strategy, and create your funnel, and create the imagery and the story and the verbiage and the words and all the things we've talked about, and your wardrobe, very important, that is going to harness the power of bringing those clients to you. When you're researching your brand, what's their profession? What's their age range, income, preferred brands? No details too small. When I'm thinking of my ideal client, I want people who are creatives, who are passionate, who are successful, who have done it on their own. I did this on my own. I had no help. Like, my parents had this huge rise, Gulf War, 1990s, recession. There was a lot of struggle. Like, they ended up losing everything, and I've had no help along the way other than utter inspiration of art and creativity my whole life. So I want to find clients that have a similar life story, ones that have made it on their own, that are super creative and driven to success. Again, defining your dream clients, awareness goals. What are my clients looking for? My clients are seeking memorable, experiences in every facet of their life. Every facet. When they go to buy a car, when they go on vacation, when they go to buy a purse, when they're going to the beach, when they're going for the walk, when they're hanging out with their kids. If this experience is not driving them and creating joy, they're not going to do it, okay? Because I work with a lot of very high net worth people, and their concept of what's possible when they open their eyes in the morning is wildly different than some of ours. So they're not making decisions the same way we are. When we go to buy something nice for ourselves, I got an electric bill, and I got cheerleading to pay for my little one, and I got this. We're making sacrifices with our purchases all the time, and our luxury clients, there are no sacrifices that are being made. So when you can be that value of that item and experience and that product and that person of absolute value, they're going to invest in you because they see that, and that's what they want. My clients value high-quality luxury products and services, and they're willing to invest in them, period. Breaking it down to personality types. This is really for our soul searching first, to understand who we are. You know, are you an investigative person? Are you a deep thinker? You know, are you artistic? Are you creating? Are you one of the helpers, a social person? Are you a persuader? Are you enterprising? Do you want to put your foot down and call the shots? Are you a little more conventional? You know, you just want to organize and be focused on things. Are you realistic? You just gotta I've got to pay the bills. I got to do this. I got to hustle. I got to make the money. Identifying first who you are is going to better help you understand who you are for and who you are going to be able to do your absolute best work with. All of this is about attracting clients that are going to allow you to do your very, very best work because you're aligning on personality, you're aligning on style, you're aligning on taste. This is not casting this gigantic SEO net and taking every single booking that comes in. I want more people who land on my website to say, he's not for me, than the ones that say, that's for me. That takes a lot of courage sometimes in slow months. Define your client. Who is my brand for and how do I attract them? For me, my clients are creative, stylish, adventurous, successful, dedicated, inspiring. They're dreamers, they're original, and they're kind. My clients must inspire me. They must motivate me. I have to look at these people and be like, wow, your life is incredible. You've done so much. You've been so creative. You've worked so hard. That makes me want to go the extra mile for them, to be inspired by them, to try to live my life with these aspirations, to become, a person of not only financial stability, but also to be a person who can have these choices in the world. Because I like doing fun things. And the more successful we can all become, the more fun things we can do. When I finally had figured all this out and defined my client, I wanted to write a love letter to my ideal client. And this is verbiage on my website as well. And this is the moment that when my clients get to this and they read this, there's no more looking. They go right to book now. Because yours is not an ordinary life. It's a life like no other. One that has taken an immense amount of dedication to build. All of its style, beauty, and love deserves to be celebrated, and you elevated. When my clients read that, we don't even care how much. Here's the check. Make your clients fall in love with you people. This is the most important thing. I don't mean you people. They may fall in love with you people. This cadence is there. Once they love you, you can do no wrong. You have got this trust built. Any problem that might happen, anything that was missed or not absolutely perfect, you have created such a buffer of grace that obviously we want to produce perfect jobs and have nothing go wrong. But if things have gone wrong, which they have for all of us, it is not even a thought in the world because you have pampered them and showered them and you let them know that you care so deeply about them and their experience that they can think nothing else but, wow, that was amazing. I'm telling every single person I know about you. Define your level of taste. Where do your clients live, eat, shop, vacation? Do they collect art, own businesses? Do they have kids? What are their favorite brands? The more you can create your perfect client, again, the more you can strategize how to attract them. When I was in high school, I loved creative writing. I'd always write spy stories. I basically wrote John Wick when I was like 16, essentially. But it was just all about these cool dudes with style on motorcycles and like hot babes and all those things. So I had been like defining, unknowingly even to me, I'd been defining my ideal client since I was, super young. And I know that like to me, those people are cool and they inspire me and they motivate me. And that's when I can do my best work. Again, they're seeking, our clients, they're seeking the highest quality goods and services. And if you aren't the highest quality good and service for them, they're going to look elsewhere. Taste. The more you can show your relationship to the goods and services your clients invest in, the higher the likelihood that they're going to be attracted to you. I love watches. I do posts about watches all the time. The grooms I attract love watches. Did a wedding in Aspen. The morning after the wedding, the groom calls me, Chris, we're all going watch shopping. Come on. Like, when does that happen? Like, they know that we have this shared interest, and they want to include me in it. They've brought me there not just as the photographer. I'm the photographer last on why I'm there. I'm there to bring joy and to celebrate them and to see them and be another part of their experience that they're seeking, that they need. My team, all my guys and my girls that work for me, like, we come in and we just utterly pamper everyone. We want our presence to be enjoyable and to be valuable and to provide fun. We're not fly on the wall photographers, which is fine for people because if that's who you are, all this still applies to you when it's your version of it to the very best that it can be. This is not about trying to be like me or anyone else. It's about building your core values and attracting this. All right, the luxury pyramid. We're going to get a little bougie here, but we kind of have to. All right, so these represent just a few of some of the top luxury brands in the world. Starting on the bottom, middle, top of the tier. Has everyone in this room been into any of these stores? A few? Yeah? Has anyone in this room not been in any of these stores? Okay. Anybody else? So when you go into these stores, there's an aesthetic. There's an aesthetic of how you're greeted. There's an aesthetic of how the staff dresses. There's an aesthetic of what you're offered. These are our clients. If we want luxury clients, people are willing to spend $25,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on photography. This is where they're going to shop. So if you're not at least understanding that introduction and that level of at least the greeting of when they go into these stores, you'll never be able to attract these clients. I go in all the time. You don't have to look. You don't have to buy. You can just go in and look. It's super fun. Costs you nothing. A lot of times, too, I'll even be at a mall. I'll see a Dior store, or maybe I'll be in Rome. I see the Gucci store. I'm going to take a picture. Woo! Put it on social. I'm showing my connection to these brands without having to even spend $1 on them. I mean, I did spend $1. But again, that's just me and a reflection of my brand. Law of attraction. The more we share about our relationships to luxury goods and experiences, the more likely we're going to attract that client. My clients would never take me around the world or to Spain and basically embed me with them. We're going in the limo bus as a family from here to there and there to here if they didn't like my company. They didn't like who we were. So it's crucial that we're attracting clients that we match in taste and we share style and we share experiences with each other. This is where we do our best work. I do not want everybody. I do not want everybody. I want 15 clients a year that are incredible people that I can foster meaningful, valuable experiences with. Your brand should help you more seamlessly connect with these people, these clients, and then they will value your expertise and your taste. Taste is so important in manifesting your perfect client. Playing hard to get, exclusivity. Not everyone gets to have you. Again, this is much easier in those months when we're fully booked and much harder in the slow times. Let's not sugarcoat this. Q1, I know, was absolutely horrific for all of us. We're just getting out of it. I know all of us are about to start. Some of us are just about to start our first rounds of weddings. But Q1 was really hard. And having the fortitude to sit back, I turned down about 22 jobs for high impact months, August, September, October. I turned down about 22 jobs in January for those months because they were not the right fit. And that was scary because I needed that deposit money. But I knew that I had to keep those dates open for the ideal client because nothing is worse when a top-tier planner calls you, Chris, we got this amazing wedding. We're going to Rome. We're doing this. We're doing this. I'm like, oh, I booked a cafeteria wedding. So sorry. Have fun without me. Bring me back something from the Gucci store. So not everyone gets to have you. And you have to have that fortitude, and you have to have that concrete foundation that the right client is going to come right when they need it. You have to believe that. So exclusivity, Oxford describes as the state of catering to or being affordable by only a few select customers. These are some of my favorite buzzwords when I'm talking about exclusivity: limited, chic, private, exclusive, rare. It's human nature that society puts a greater value on things that are hard to obtain. When clients send me an inquiry, they want to set up a meeting, I reply right away. Hello, thank you so much for getting in touch. I have availability nothing sooner than 72 hours. I'm very busy. By the time you track me down, it's going to be a special moment of exclusivity. I have limited time, and for us to have this conversation, it's going to take a moment for me to get to you. We have to have this limited availability to create exclusivity, which creates value. Wow, we're so lucky to have you. Thank you so much for taking the time. These are the words that get reflected in me when I'm having my client conversations. Like, we appreciate your schedule. We know how busy you are. After today, hopefully everyone's going to start following me on social media, and you'll see my adventures. I'm on planes to weddings, home, plane, wedding, plane, wedding, plane, wedding, wedding, plane. It's hard to track me down. So when you do, it is special, and I try to create that moment. And at that time, they're the only person that matters. I integrate all my brand values. They feel seen, loved, catered, and pampered to, and serviced. All right, we're about to get good. Branding. Attracting your perfect client. Now we know exactly who our client is. We know where they shop. We know where they vacation. We know what they like. Now we can start to build our strategy of how when they see our branding, when they see that sign on the door, and they get into our funnel, they're like, yes, we get it. All right, here's a few examples of some of the top luxury brands in the world. With the exception of 3 brands, Chopard, Cartier, Salvatore Ferragamo, which, Joy, I want that scarf, wherever you are, Joy. We got clean, easy-to-read fonts. You're sitting in the back row. You can tell what these logos are. These are clean, and they're simple, and if they have an icon attached to them, they tend to be very iconic as well. But your fonts need to be easy to read from across the street. It's good to use a serif or sans serif font like this. If your logo reminds them of some way, shape, or form of the goods they're already purchasing, you have a giant leg up, an absolute giant leg up. Because like, oh yeah, of course, he gets it. They get it. Your logo. Your logo is the ultimate influencer. This is the first impression. You have 3 seconds to capture their attention for them to be like, that looks expensive, that looks cheap. That looks expensive, that looks cheap. Luxury clients will never, ever, ever spend $1 on cheap. Well, some are cheap, but they won't spend cheap. I akin it to my clients when they go buy a watch, they're buying a Rolex, not a Timex. So for me, my job is to be their Rolex. You have to meet them where they're at and be the product that they're looking for. Your logo must project trust, quality, and luxury. And by comparing it to some of the other logos, you have a leg up on that. Logo evolution. Updating your brand's logo design over time will help you stay relevant. Logos should not change very often. They should only change when you are ready, and they should go in minor increments, right? As we grow and as we evolve on our journey, we start to charge a little bit more. We start to attract a higher caliber client. We start to work with higher caliber planners. We start to get paid a little bit more, which is always fun. So it's important to evolve your branding slowly, but continually matching your ideal client's taste. Now we're going to go into a case study. So what we're about to do is we're going to talk about my logo evolution. I'm going to get real with you guys. I'm going to share some pricing of where I was with each design of the logo and how at each step of it, my thought process and how I was able to raise my rates. 2010, like I said, at the time, everybody was doing a watercolor splash with a cursive font. Everything looked like, I guess we call it garden core now. Thank you, Taylor. And so my first one, I was really into Prada at this time. So this is a similar Prada color scheme, red, white, and black. It was fashion forward, it was bold, it instantly put me on the map compared to everyone else. I was brand new to weddings. My average booking was $3,500. 2014, 2016, got a little more sporty. I was able to double my average booking at this point. It was a little more elevated, added the line, the photography, a little cleaner. It looked nice when I could put it over an image and we had that nice little overlay. So this was a great logo. Then at the end of 2016, this is when my business really took off. This was when my team in Maui, we were doing over 100 weddings a year, which is about every other day. The bank account was happy. I was starting to get a little tired. My eyes were popping out of my head. So I knew that now I needed to refine again. I knew I had to cut the amount of weddings I was doing in half. I needed to charge more. And I knew that, again, I could do that through branding and subtly evolving my branding. So in 2016, doubled into half my bookings again. I found the Vogue font. I made it clean. I made it elevated. I added this beautiful tagline where fashion, nature, and weddings collide. I want my clients to like all these things. I dropped this logo, and it just went. I doubled my rates, and I thought I was going to work less. I did 88 weddings this year, and Maui is a crazy place. It was nonstop. This is pre-pandemic. Any wedding at the Four Seasons, at the Andaz, at the Ritz-Carlton, at the top venues in Maui, it was either I was doing the job or they were flying someone in from the mainland. It was the amount of market share that I was able to build through being the only one that was offering this level of luxury branding and fashion-forward experiences that clients were seeking and they were needing. Then 2020. I had outgrown Maui at this point. I was losing my inspiration. I was working every other day at essentially one of 4 venues at this point. These were the only venues that could accommodate the weddings I was booking. I was driving straight towards burnout. So I was like, oh, babe, let's move back to the mainland. Let's go back to California. I'm going to have a bigger pool to swim in. I'll have more opportunity. Let's do it. March 2020, sold our house in Maui, bought our new house in Ventura, California, doubled my mortgage, doubled my bills. I got 2 daughters, and all of a sudden, that was March 14th when we moved into the house. My favorite was March 15th. I wake up, all right, let's see who the California wedding planners are. What events are there to come upcoming? Oh, cool. I'm going to hit the ground running. March 16th, there was no more running. So, in a matter of 2 weeks, like all of us, I had $390,000 of weddings postponed, and that was just a matter of 2 weeks. 2 wanted their retainers back, which normally we don't do, but I said, fine, do it. Luckily, and I hope each and every one of you in here has structured your business properly. This is the only thing that saved me. I'm an S corporation. My whole family is on payroll. I'm not a CPA, but this is just, my whole family's on payroll, so we're all able to get all the options that were available to us. So I was able to still pay my bills and not lose my station, because this represented nearly 10 years of busting my booty in making all this happen, and to think that it was going to be taken away and we're going to lose it all was incredibly frightening. So I sat back, we had some time. It was time to do a full rebrand, right? And what's important about this is to know that it's never too late for any of us. If we want to elevate and we want to go to the next level, we can do it whenever we want. And you just have to do it using these core tenets and all these principles to attract your people. So at this point, it had been 8 years shooting full-time weddings. I had to reflect on my ideal client, my new brand position, what my new brand goals were. I was in a new market. My clients had changed. I had changed. This cocoon took over a year. Up until this point, I had done all my own graphics. I had done all my own logos. I built my own websites. I was a bit of a tinkerer. And I knew that it was time to upmarket myself. So I did my research. I found an incredible web designer, incredible graphic designer, and we worked and worked and worked and worked. And these were some of the elements of my new website. And then at the end of that year, we emerged with this. This will most likely be my logo for the rest of my career. This is established luxury. My average bookings now are over $20,000. International, I don't need to say photography. People know, they know what I do now. I work all over the world, and I wanted a strong, fashion-driven, masculine, yet still approachable logo that reflects all of my brand values. When my clients see this logo, they know exactly what they're going to get. Advertising, where you show your work matters. The goal of our advertising is to inspire, excite, entertain, and engage. High-end blogs, the magazines that still exist, and social media are great places to start. There are a few print magazines that still exist. We've got Inside Weddings, we have California Wedding Day. They're actually owned by Iron Diamond Media, so they own wedding magazines in a lot of major markets, from Wisconsin to Oregon to Arizona. The magazines that do still exist are very valuable, and it is expensive to buy in, but for $6,000 a year, you can get a full page ad in a lot of these magazines. And it's not that you're going to book a job from that single ad, but when a couple's looking for it, 12 other photographers can't afford a full-page ad. So you are creating a little bit of you're separating yourself from the pack by this investment into this advertising. So you're sort of keeping people, you're keeping competitors sort of out of that market by being in that market, if that makes sense. TikTok has become a huge funnel for me. Who's on TikTok in here? Okay, good. TikTok is a great funnel. The ability for things to go viral there, much, much easier than Instagram. I started doing this little no phones monologue a couple years ago, never recorded. A client asked me, they're like, Chris, we really want no phones during the ceremony. Is there any way you could say something? And I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, the first few stumbled my way through it. Now I have over 2.5 million views of my no phones monologues. The last one on TikTok got 250,000 plays in 24 hours, and I booked about 10 weddings just from that. And it's just me, all turned up, coming out. I'm their hype man. What's up, everybody who's ready to see Bill and Susan get married today? Make some noise. Woo, everybody's hyped up. I have a little message they'd love for me to relay. Nothing would mean the world more to our beautiful couple today than we feel this ceremony in our heart and in our soul. And we witness it with our own eyes and not through our phones. So let's please keep them at bay. Let's be 100% present for them and enjoy this wonderful occasion. I get rounds of applause now. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. And there's not a single phone at any one of my ceremonies. Not a single phone comes out. Not even an iPad. It's been a game. It has been an absolute game changer, the no phones monologue. And at first, it was a little polarizing at first. People were like, who does he think he is? I'm like, well, I'm serving my client. I'm going above and beyond that yet again. They don't want to see phones in front of their faces. They want to see all their pretty guests. These are some of my ads that I've run in those magazines that have some of the highest engagement. And again, they are pure reflections of exactly who I want to work with and where I want to work. I want to work with beautiful couples in Italy, beautiful couples in Hawaii, beautiful couples in Sardinia. I just like to say Sardinia. So again, everything you do needs to be marketed towards exactly who you want to attract. Visual branding for social media. Again, inspire, excite, entertain, engage. Before every wedding, I pull my phone out. What's up, guys? Here we are at so-and-so, blah, blah. We're doing this wedding. I'm going to show you the photo soon. Woo! I'm big on the woo fans. But again, my brand is exciting. My brand is fresh. I'm representing my values and my clients. I'm making their experience and their day filled with so much joy. So what I do with my social media, my goal is to be consistent, emotive, quality, and iconic. When I make my post, I do them in posts of 9 images from the same event. So I'm showing consistency throughout one experience, and I'm showing the range from the day into the night. So every time I do this, I'm redefining my brand for the clients, for the planners, and for everyone coming into my pipeline. On the left here, this is Leslie Murphy. She was on The Bachelor. This was featured in People magazine. And the right was that Canadian family that I mentioned earlier where his dad was so gracious. And that was an incredible event. There was catamaraning. There was all kinds of things. It's good times. Sometimes we think that it's all about only new relationships. But the best relationships and the people that are going to send your career the furthest are probably relationships you already have. You just aren't utilizing them to the fullest potential. And this is through communication. All the time, I'll have lunch dates with different planners, like, hey, let me take you out for lunch. And just by telling them, hey, I'd love to work at this place, they're like, oh, hold on a minute. Hey, planner B, like, Chris would love to work at so-and-so. Just by expressing what you want to do with relationships you already have will open up whole new doors of possibilities within those. So don't underestimate the power of the relationships you already have if you're communicating what you want and where you want to go. They're the bedrock of business. Who do you want to work with now? And who do you want to work with? When you're thinking of future people, like, is there someone inspiring you that's putting out incredible work? Did you see an image on Instagram where you're like, that ceremony space was outrageous. I'm so inspired by that. I'd love to work there. Like, see who the planning team was, reach out to the florist, reach out to anyone who's tagged in there, reach out to them. Introduce yourself. I love your work. I might be producing an editorial. Would you like to be a creative partner? That sounds so elevated. Way better than, hey, let's do a styled shoot. Who do you work with now, and who do you attract the most? Are you working with the same planners again and again and again? Are you working with the same type of client again and again and again? Are these people and these planners, are they continuing to help your evolution? Are you growing each time you're working with this person, or is it sort of rinse and repeat? And that's okay, because some we have, like, you know, the day-to-day, just the bread and butter clients and planners we work with. Other ones are going to be continuing to evolve. I like to attach myself with planners who are as motivated and driven as I am, that are keep seeking that next job. Like, how can we grow together? How can my work elevate you? And how can your work help elevate me and book me with my ideal clients? Find your tribe. We're not for everybody, and that's okay. I'm a lot. Some people get to know me, and they're like, yes, 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 yes. And others are like, but I lead with my kindness and my graciousness and my gratitude. I just have, like, a lot of ADD. I've learned to cope from time to time, but I just love to have a good time. I want to have fun. Why would I do this if I wasn't having fun, right? So I want to find people that are having fun with me, you know? Focus on relationships that begin with shared values, taste, vision, style, and respect and kindness. It only takes one person to open the door. One planner can book you $100,000 of work a year, easily. Some photographers, friends of mine, they can book that in one job. Love you guys. I'm coming for you, but I'm on my way. So in this industry, right, it's just, I think we all get caught up a lot of times with our competitors, what are our competitors doing? I don't want to think of any of us as competitors. We're all contemporaries. We are all doing something that we love, right? We love to make people happy. We love to make them look good. We love to deliver images that'll be part of their record and their life, right? So, I mean, let's just focus on each other. And I think if we stop competing with each other and we start completing each other, we're all going to grow as an industry and as a market. And if there's something I can do to help someone or someone can do to help me, I'll be there for anyone, within reason, almost every single time. Alrighty. So we'll do some questions too, but this is going to sign you up to my new email. Sign up. I've got a lot of content coming. I'm going to be working on a course. We're going to have presets. We're going to have all kinds of great education. The lower right is going to be my Instagram. Thank you so much, everybody. If anyone has anything else to say, I'm here for you.